Wait, what was my thing? Here's the thing right here, man. This is an interesting one. Now, first off, do I agree with the nominees? Not entirely. Because the key thing here is this: we have to now focus. It's the UEFA Men's Award. What is the key word there? UEFA, which is European, which means that there is a focus on European bias, which means that the focus is on how well did you do in a European league and how well did you do in the Champions League. World Cup shouldn't matter. So it's weird when I saw the tweet and Messi in an Argentina jersey because what Messi did in the World Cup shouldn't really hold sway. Again, unless I'm wrong, I feel the criteria is your performance in the European League and your performance in the Champions League. So for Cristiano, it's a bit tricky for you. So my thing there is Haaland, 1,000%. Haaland is the first name on that list. He is the first free freaking name. Then it gets tricky. Should De Bruyne be on the list? Perhaps, maybe. I mean, no. You see, because De Bruyne is in a similar boat to Haaland. It's a similar boat. Haaland did nothing in both of the legs of the semi against Real Madrid. Who scored that crucial equalizer in the first leg? It was De Bruyne. So, and obviously De Bruyne got injured in the final, but Haaland did nothing in the final or in the both legs of the semi-final. But De Bruyne said, "What's up?" So, and also De Bruyne was definitely a huge part of the league win and the cup win. So yes, you could argue De Bruyne should be in there. Now this is where it gets tricky. Should Messi be in this list ahead of Rodri? Because Rodri was remember, Rodri was exceptional. Rodri was arguably one of the best DMs, perhaps if not the best DM in the world past season. Who scored that stupendous goal that really let City get to the ball rolling against Real Madrid in the second leg semi? Rodri, fantastic goal. Who scored the winning goal in the UCL final? I think it is crazy that Rodri is not on this list. So if you want to keep it a stat, because a team that won the treble, there should be no qualms or arguments if all three guys. Because let's be real, can you give me another exceptional player last football season that isn't a City player if you don't count international competition? So if you don't count the World Cup, so let's say remember this is European, so don't count the World Cup. Which other exceptional player can you put forth down out of those guys? Can you maybe say Vinny? Maybe perhaps props, maybe potentially. But City were far and away lightest head of everyone else. So my thing though is if you had a nominees of Rodri, Haaland, and De Bruyne, you can't argue because they won the treble, they won all the major trophies, and all those three guys were very pivotal in them saying what's up. So again, should Messi be on this list? If because that's the thing, because again, maybe you guys can tell me in the comments below. I'm just using my basic logic and intelligence here, which is that it's a UEFA award. If it's a UEFA award, now you could argue that. But see, okay, here's the thing. So if it's a UEFA award, it's European. Because my argument was like, okay, because it's European, how well did a European player do at the World Cup? But no, that doesn't make sense. UEFA, because anybody can get it. Anybody can win it. So it isn't just biased towards European players. I think it's biased towards European competition, which is a European league, a European league, Champions League, Europa League, Conference League, but really because it's the Champions, really the Champions League and the European League. So did Messi do enough at PSG in either Uber Eats or the Champions League to be a nominee? My answer is no. For me, Rodri was better than Messi last season. De Bruyne was better than Messi last season, and Haaland was better than Messi last season. If we don't count the World Cup, if you count the World Cup, oh, that's a whole different thing. That's a whole different kettle of fish because World Cup was heavy. But now, maybe I'm wrong here. But I'm just using my logic that why would the World Cup be included under something that is UEFA? Because if it is UEFA, because remember, UEFA is a governing board that looks over European competition, the European leagues, Champions League, and whatever. So if there's any qualms, you go. So if there's any qualms in anything within the European League, you go first to UEFA, and they now go to the higher, which is now FIFA. So that's my thing there. So again, that's my view. Maybe people really disagree. Who deserves to win it? You know what? They wouldn't. Haaland, you got to give it to Haaland because I want to make an argument for Rodri. I want to make an argument for Rodri based on just how consistent he was, what he did in the UCL semi UCL final. See, if I was casting the vote, and I could use my own personal criteria, I'll give it to Rodri because Rodri ticks the boxes that I want to tick in terms of the guy who should give the vote, which is that yeah, your consistency is there, but did you say what's up in those big games, in those big pressure games? Rodri did. Rodri was one of City's best players across all competitions. He scored in the UCL semi and scored the freaking winning goal in a very, very, very close UCL final that Inter could have won. Thank you, Lukaku and Lautaro Martinez. For Haaland, it's also a strong argument because you, in your first debut season, you broke a goal scoring record in one of the toughest leagues in Europe. Some Premier League is one of the toughest leagues in Europe. In your first season, you destroyed and lubricated that freaking record. And you scored 5 goals in the UCL game. And you finished top scorer in the Champions League. You see, if they were to give it to Haaland, I wouldn't argue. I mean, if they gave it to Haaland, I wouldn't be mad and crazy. Put it this way, them giving it to Haaland, I'll have less beef than the Jorginho. Jorginho getting it was completely stupid. That was dumb. So if they give it to Haaland, I'm like, I mean, you have to show up in the UCL semi-UCL. UCL final, I believe. But again, you broke the goal scoring record in your debut season. You scored 5 goals in a UCL knockouts game. You ended up Champions League top goal scorer. That's pretty damn good. The argument for Rodri is you were, in my opinion, the best DM in the world last season. You scored in the UCL semi and you scored the winning goal, the solitary winning goal in the UCL final. That's a dub. For me, I think, look, these awards don't mean anything. Because these awards are biased towards big names. Because if these awards were real and unfair, Ribery has a Ballon d'Or, Sneijder has a Ballon d'Or, and Rodri is a damn nominee. But because it's just biased, because let's be real, Rodri should be on this. It should be 3 City players. They won the freaking treble. City won the treble, and you can't name me any other exceptional player that was more exceptional last season than De Bruyne, Haaland, or Rodri. You can't. A team that wins the treble, it makes sense that all 3 nominees should be of that team. It makes sense because they won the freaking treble. So, sometimes that's not always the case because you may find those years where, okay, those guys won the treble, but man, that guy, he said what's up, that guy said what's up. Like, when United won because I don't know who won. Was it Rivaldo who won? I think it was Rivaldo. I think Rivaldo won the Ballon d'Or in 99. But United won the treble. That's because Rivaldo was stupendously exceptional as an individual. You can't give me a Rivaldo argument for last season. You can't. There isn't a Rivaldo argument for last season. So you've got to give it to one of these treble guys. So, although some guys say Bex deserves to win it at 99, but who knows? Well, we'll see what it is. Like that vid, subscribe if you're new, head over there to the official website and join us later for our live show. Peace out.